Today's story is heart-wrenching. It definitely takes a person from one place to another and one does not even know it, and when we find out it's too late. Why did the air hostess become a call girl? Behind the glamorous life of an air hostess lies a darker story. A woman with wings, always seen with a smile, catering to the rich and powerful, suddenly vanishes from the skies, only to emerge in a world filled with whispers. A world far removed from the safety of the clouds. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Maxi Motivation Life. So let's start. The start of a dream. A happy air hostess boarding a plane, smiling at passengers. She once dreamed of soaring through the skies, visiting exotic lands, and living the perfect life. For years everything seemed perfect. Or was it? Air hostess talking to a friend and says, "I love my job, but sometimes I feel like I'm being watched, like there's something more behind all of this." One suspicious encounter. Shadowy figures at the airport lounge, exchanging envelopes. One man nods toward the air hostess. Things started to change. Late-night flights, mysterious passengers, and private offers she couldn't refuse. Was it just coincidence or something more sinister? Air hostess texts someone nervously. "I don't know who these people are, but the money is too good to pass up." After finishing her work, she leaves in a luxury car. What was happening behind the scenes? The double life begins. Air hostess in a lavish hotel, dressed in an expensive outfit, meet a wealthy businessman. The scene slowly turns dark and moody. One offer led to another, and before she knew it, her double life began. From airports to hidden meetings, her world was now controlled by something far more dangerous than turbulence. Air hostess thinking and saying, "How did I end up here? I never imagined this is where I'd land." The trap tightens. Her being watched by a mysterious woman, possibly the leader of a high-end escort ring. But this world wasn't free. There were rules. The deeper she went, the more trapped she became. Mysterious woman coldly says, "You can't just walk away. We own you now." The final twist. Sitting alone in her apartment, contemplating her choices, surrounded by luxury but looking miserable. Was it all worth it? She was once a woman with dreams, but now, she's just another name in a world of shadows. Air hostess looking into the camera and saying, "I thought I could escape, but now, I don't even know who I am anymore." A shocking revelation. She thinks about her past life. There were problems at home, her mother was ill, she wanted to do something different to cover all these expenses, but what was her dream and what became of it? It feels like life has hit a very low. Digging into her past, we find clues that show why she needed the money so desperately. Was it to save someone she loved? Or did something break inside her, forcing her to abandon her old life? Young air hostess sitting by her sick mother. "I'll find a way, Mom. I'll make sure we're never poor again." A daughter who wanted to give everything, but ended up losing herself in the process. Dangerous secrets. The air hostess being approached by a stranger on the street who gives her a warning. Stranger says, "You've gotten too deep. You need to be careful. There are people who want to make sure you stay silent." As she tries to pull herself out, she realizes it's not just the people she worked for who are dangerous. There's a darker, more powerful network watching her every move. One unknown person was following him. A betrayal. A tense confrontation between the air hostess and a close friend she thought she could trust, only to discover they were involved in her downfall. Air hostess shouting and says, "You knew all along, didn't you? You were part of this." Friend calmly says, "I was just following orders. You don't know what they're capable of. We all have to survive somehow." Even those closest to her were part of the web of lies. There was no one she could trust. A desperate escape. She packs her things and tries to run away. The people who had trapped him were also slowly coming closer. She knew it was only a matter of time before they came for her. The only option left was to run. We see her boarding a train in disguise, looking around nervously. Air hostess reflecting says, "I never wanted this. I just wanted to live a life of freedom. But now, I'm running for my life." The final confrontation. The air hostess is cornered in a remote location by the same mysterious woman from earlier. Mysterious woman says, "You really thought you could escape? No one walks away from this life. You owe us everything." Air hostess determined says, "I don't owe you anything. I'm taking my life back." A struggle ensues, but the air hostess manages to escape one final time. disappearing into the night. A new beginning. She goes from here to another country, sitting in a cafe. She thinks about her life, and she was out of the quagmire. Did she finally escape? Or is this just another chapter in a life full of dark twists? The next day she comes out and there is a huge crowd. Everybody is looking at her. She looks different in the crowd. Sometimes the past never really lets go. Will she ever be truly free? Or is this just the beginning of another nightmare? The answers may never be clear. But one thing is certain, her story isn't over yet. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more mysterious stories.